Ladies and gentlemen, hello to each and every one of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Avail Tech Conscience platform. The news is making headlines, especially in Western media, and more specifically in French media. And there is an uproar following the release of this report. A report produced by the Defense Commission of the French National Assembly. You know, in every country in the world, the National Assembly represents the people. And within the National Assembly, Parco, or Parliament, which is called Parliament elsewhere, within the National Assembly, there are committees, different committees, Environment Committee, Human Rights Committee. But one of the most important committees is the Defense Committee. This committee deals with everything related to the nation's security. So, it is the Defense Committee of the French National Assembly, thus of the French Parliament, that has made an assessment, that has produced a report. A report to present France's capabilities in the event of a conflict. Because for some time now, President Emmanuel Macron has been preparing the mindset of the French to enter into a high-intensity war, particularly a war with Russia. Macron, who believes that his country possesses nuclear weapons, is on all fronts to rally Europe, so that Europe follows France in engaging in a giant conflict against Russia, which is portrayed as a monster. Thus, the French Parliament, the Defense Commission, it's worth noting the Defense Commission has decided to take up the matter, to check, to see, in the stocks that France has, the military personnel, whether France is capable of sustaining an armed conflict. Is France ready, as Macron claims? And the report that was made, the assessment is alarming. The result is alarming. The very title that the Defense Commission of the French Parliament gave to this report, the very title is discouraging right from the start. It is clearly stated that France could only hold out for a few weeks at best in the event of a high-intensity conflict. That means France cannot even last a month, just a few weeks. That means France is very fragile. France has nothing in its bag. It has nothing. And the Defense Commission of the French Parliament did not stop there. They went on to touch upon figures, statistics to support and better present their report. And this report is made in the name of the French people, so that the government agrees to abandon this perilous and dangerous path that Emmanuel Macron wants to take and on which he wants to lead the French people. Ladies and gentlemen, share this video conference as much as possible. Yes, we are going to delve deep. Share the video. Give it lots of likes, please. So, it's an explosive report. France would only last a few weeks at best in the event of high-intensity warfare. This is the alarming finding made by this report. Alice from the Commission. Share the video. Drafted by the report of the Defense Commission of the National Assembly. It should be noted that this report was made public on April 30th, 2025. So, and this report has been highlighted by the media, by the press of France, the French press, the country's media. Thus, the document examines in detail the capabilities of the French artillery in the current strategic context. They examined the French artillery. So, this report particularly highlights the example of the cannon. In this report, the report places a lot of emphasis on this cannon issue. You know that cannons are of paramount importance in the context of conflicts, especially armed conflicts. So, this report highlights that France, to date, only has 76 cannons. France only has 76 cannons. Yes, and cannons are the centerpiece of the French artillery. The centerpiece, what France relies on, the centerpiece of the French artillery are the cannons. And to this day, France only has 76 cannons. For a country that claims to be a nuclear power, how many does Russia have? It's enormous. So, at a minimum, the report says, the minimum that is needed, the minimum number of cannons required, at least, would be 215 cannons, minimum, to face a large-scale conflict. That is, to confront a country like Russia. But France only has 76. France doesn't even have half of what is needed to enter into conflict. If this isn't Dabaya, what is it? If this isn't Oba Big Talk, what is France? Let's go deeper. So, according to the estimations of the reporters, at least 215 are needed, and this is mentioned in the report. The parliamentary report in question also laments the slow pace of the French defense industry in replenishing stocks. They accuse the French industry of being slow to replenish stocks. The stocks that have been depleted, the industry is slow. But how can the French industry not be slow? There is no money. There is no money. There isn't any. Where you see, they are cutting budgets for high schools, universities. Where to get the money? No, there isn't any. They also lament the shell production capacities, for example, which are considered too limited to quickly meet an increase in demand. They say that French factories produce slowly. If they start using the little stock they have, it will take a long time to replenish the stock. So, all of this sufficiently proves that France cannot enter into a conflict at the moment. So, there have been many criticisms made. And there have been warnings issued. But the overall conclusion is that France is not ready. And what France wants to convey to the whole world, dear ladies and gentlemen, is that France is not. That is the conclusion. So, the French government has not yet responded. But this is a report from the French Parliament, specifically from the Defense Commission. And so, dear ladies and gentlemen, that was the headline news. Thank you for sharing this information. And to give me strength, I will be back shortly, by the grace of the Almighty, with new updates. And that was the voice of your humble servant, Robert Théa.